Here is a massive update of what I've been working so far the past month and a half. So if you follow my YouTube channel, I basically said that I'm going to use this course to learn more about UX design so I could build better applications. And I didn't post anything for a while because I was just mainly in the zone, and this whole content creation thing is not my thing, but I'm still getting used to it, just figuring out better ways to communicate and tell my story. But just to let you guys know, I got my certification within 1 month, even though the recommended time period is 3 to 6 months. But I was like, I need to get opportunities. I need to improve my tech stack ASAP. And I think this is like one of the best ways to help sharpen your knife. So, was it stressful? Hell yeah. Watching those videos, getting those tests right, doing the projects. It was very challenging. But at the end of the day, I learned a lot. And here's just some of the stuff I took away from the program. The first thing I learned is that you shouldn't just develop or design just to design. Find a certain problem somebody has, even if it's your own problem, and solve that problem using the platforms like Figma, Xcode, whatever, because now you're thinking more of like a developer and designer, since that's usually the whole aspect of our professions is solving problems with technology. Two, gathering as much research as possible. I mean, I can't stress that enough because 9 times out of 10, the reason why these products are just so shitty is because they don't invest into doing the research, right? Especially when it comes to actually talking to people who will use that product instead of making assumptions. Also, looking at your competitors to see whether or not what they're doing and how you could just make it better, like flip the script for what you're doing. Three, documentation. I mean, besides the research, documenting your experience, documenting what went wrong, documenting what went right is going to help you figure out how to move forward. I mean, if you don't have that one source of truth, things are just going to be chaotic and you're going to start blaming other people, when if you just took the notes during every step, you would know how to move forward from a certain pitfall, and you could understand how certain trends are happening because of the documentation. Number four, be flexible when it comes to using tools. I mean, even though Figma, Adobe XD, and Sketch are the primary tools when it comes to designing applications, if you know how to do it on pen and paper, then you're just as valuable as somebody that knows how to do it on those software platforms. Because before you even get to that stage, you have to understand exactly what it is that you're designing and developing, and who's it for, and why are we doing this in the first place, so that way you don't waste money. And I think that's what people forget. Like, let's just jump straight into the tool so that way we could share it. But you're wasting time, energy, and resources doing that when we could have just wrote it down and then show a little picture and see what's up, because it's a lot faster, it's cheaper, and you truly get all of the ideas out. And that's what you need to get to the next step, to actually start spending money to develop a effective and quality product. Now, I will mention one of my favorite parts of this course was learning about biases. And I think the reason why I love it so much is because I could use that anywhere. It's not just in designing and developing. Like, we all have biases when it comes to people, the things we like, everything. So when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, you can move accordingly in life, so that way you could get the best outcomes. And I think that's what this program, or this specific course or specific segment in the course, was teaching us. Like, when you understand your flaws and how you go about perceiving information, that can make or break you designing the best product. So you could just use that in anything in life, and I thought that was pretty dope. But this program wasn't just watching videos and reading articles. You actually had to do certain stuff in order to pass to the next course or step, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to show you my low fidelity designs to like mid high fidelity, and then the actual app this time, because within this month, I managed to not only, sketch some stuff out, design it, and then actually build it out on Xcode using Swift UI. So these are my lo-fi wires. Now, before I even got to this stage, I did like 20 pages, like by hand, drawing it out, seeing what worked and what didn't work, and came to this style point of what I wanted to do. Now, this isn't the project I did inside Coursera. I said I would do two, so one for the actual certificate and one just on my own. This is my solo project that I'm working on right now that I'm trying to turn into an app and push it to the App Store. So, switching over, and I feel like it's very dope how Figma, this whole library, we could have so many components and, assets, so that way you don't have to keep creating ones on your own. People have already done the work for you, so that speeds up the process. And this is my style sheet where I could just create variants and states of the buttons, and my color palette, the style of text. Looks pretty good so far, like a little bit more in detail of how it would actually look. So I felt pretty confident at this stage to actually start developing the app. So I developed this app on Xcode using Swift UI. Now this is just me going through the motions of the application itself, as if you was to scan a lottery ticket and save it in there. So the problem I'm trying to solve is to help people better organize their ticket spending whenever they go gamble, right? Because I don't think many people have an efficient way of storing their information. And I think this will help them not only understand their spending habits, but you could probably use this for tax purposes too. And this is the ORC. It's pretty spotty, but I think you have to get close enough for it, but it works, as you can see, which is pretty dope. Now obviously it captured the text and not the... I think it got cut off at the end, but next steps for me is one, to start learning more about TestFlight, getting it on there, so that way if people want to test it out, I could just send them a link, they download it, they experience it, give me feedback. Two, finish out each screen so that way it's MVP ready for the App Store. Three, help others out, because at the end of the day, my experience and my journey is just as valuable as somebody that has the mind of Einstein or that is a senior engineer. Because the way I think about it is everybody has something to learn and everybody has something to teach. And even during my stage, what I'm currently doing, I still have the ability to teach those that are just starting off. So if you're interested in designing or developing, hit me up. We could collab or just talk. I could give you some guidance. You could put me on to certain stuff. Like, I'm all about that learning. And yeah, thanks for watching.